Our generation will witness human footprints pressed into the rusty soil of Mars not because of NASA, not because of some international coalition, but largely thanks to one man's relentless pursuit of an impossible dream. Elon Musk, a name that's become synonymous with futuristic ambition and controversial headlines in equal measure. 6 companies, 6 industries turned upside down. While most billionaires content themselves with disrupting one sector, Musk apparently got bored and decided to revolutionize transportation on Earth, transportation to space, internet connectivity, social media, artificial intelligence, and even the human brain itself. It's like he's playing some bizarre game of billionaire bingo and he's going for a full house. His vision isn't just about making cool gadgets or adding more zeros to his bank account. Musk obsesses over transforming the fundamental systems that underpin human civilization. How we move, how we communicate, and if Neuralink succeeds, even how we think. All of this from a man who, with complete seriousness, has stated that there's a 1 in billions chance we're living in base reality rather than a simulation. And, perhaps most intriguingly, Musk believes he may have found a glitch in this supposed simulation, a pathway to pushing humanity forward at unprecedented speed by thinking differently about problem solving. But before we dig deep into his methods for hacking reality, let's rewind the tape and see how a boy from South Africa with an unusually large head became the world's richest man. Pretoria, South Africa, 1971. The apartheid regime in full force, and into this divided world, Elon Reeve Musk is born. His mother, May, a model and dietitian, would later joke that his oversized cranium was so large that doctors were initially concerned, though it seems that extra space would eventually be put to good use. Young Elon's childhood wasn't exactly the privileged upbringing you might expect for a future titan of industry. His parents divorced when he was 9, and he chose to live with his father, Errol, a decision he would later deeply regret. In interviews, Musk has described his father as a terrible human being and talked about an unstable, sometimes violent home environment. School wasn't much better. Severely bullied and socially isolated, young Elon retreated into books and computers. At one point, a group of boys threw him down a flight of stairs and beat him until he blacked out, requiring hospitalization. Rather than breaking him, it seemingly hardened his resolve and self-resilience. By age 12, he had taught himself computer programming and sold his first piece of code, a game named Blastar, for about $500. Just a hint of what was to come. After briefly attending university in Pretoria, Musk left South Africa at 17, partly to avoid mandatory military service under the apartheid regime, and made his way to Canada, then later to the United States. Fast forward to 1995. A 24-year-old Musk, along with his brother Kimball, founded Zip2, a company that provided online city guide software to newspapers. Working in a small office where they couldn't afford an apartment, the brothers reportedly showered at the local YMCA. Musk would sleep on the office couch and work around the clock, coding through the night. Despite securing contracts with major newspapers like the New York Times, investors grew concerned about Musk's lack of management experience and replaced him as CEO. Must have been a bitter pill to swallow for someone who had poured every waking moment into his creation. Still, he continued working tirelessly as CTO until the company was eventually sold to Compaq in 1999 for a staggering $307 million. Musk got a cool share of $22 million. Not bad for a first attempt. Most people would take their millions and relax, but he immediately plowed his money into his next venture, an online banking company called X.com. Within a year, X.com merged with its competitor, Confinity, which had a money transfer service called PayPal. The merged company wasn't exactly a harmonious union. Corporate infighting led to Musk being ousted as CEO while on vacation. History repeating itself again, but this time, the stakes were higher. When PayPal was sold to eBay in 2002 for $1.5 billion, Musk, as the largest shareholder, walked away with approximately $250 million. Man, getting fired has never been so profitable. Now financially secure, Musk could have joined the ranks of Silicon Valley's early retirees. Instead, he decided to tackle a sector where even governments had failed: space exploration. In 2002, after being laughed out of meetings in Russia where he tried to purchase refurbished ICBMs for his Mars missions, Musk founded SpaceX with the outlandish goal of reducing space transportation costs and eventually colonizing Mars. Let that sink in for a moment. The guy who just got ousted from his own internet payment company decided his logical next step was interplanetary colonization? It's like getting fired from managing a Wendy's and deciding to open up a 5-star restaurant on Mount Everest. The early days of SpaceX were marked by spectacular, expensive failures. The first 3 launches of the Falcon 1 rocket ended in fiery explosions, burning through most of Musk's PayPal fortune. With funds for only one more launch attempt, and both Tesla and SpaceX on the brink of bankruptcy during the 2008 financial crisis, Musk faced what he called the darkest period of his life. But here's where his approach differs from most. When faced with these catastrophic failures, Musk employed what he calls reasoning from first principles, breaking problems down to their fundamental truths rather than reasoning by analogy or tradition. This approach allowed SpaceX to reimagine rocket design from scratch. On September 28, 2008, SpaceX successfully launched Falcon 1 into orbit, becoming the first privately funded liquid-fueled rocket to do so. It was a historic achievement that silenced the skeptics. Temporarily, at least. There's always a fresh batch of skeptics when Musk announces his next seemingly impossible goal. While juggling the near death of SpaceX, Musk was simultaneously fighting battles at Tesla, which he joined in 2004 as chairman and product architect, investing $6.5 million. He didn't found Tesla, contrary to popular belief, but his vision and capital transformed it from a niche startup into a company that would eventually make electric vehicles sexy rather than just sensible. Tesla's journey was equally rocky. The original Tesla Roadster faced countless production delays and cost overruns. In 2008, with the company nearly bankrupt, Musk took over as CEO and made the painful decision to lay off 25% of Tesla's workforce. On Christmas Eve 2008, with just hours to spare before insolvency, Tesla secured last-minute funding. The gamble paid off spectacularly. The Model S, launched in 2012, changed the perception of electric vehicles from glorified golf carts to high-performance luxury vehicles. Tesla's vertical integration system, building everything from batteries to software in-house, broke all the rules of modern manufacturing. In an age of outsourcing, Musk doubled down on bringing production under one roof with massive gigafactories. By 2020, Tesla's stock had soared to stratospheric heights, briefly making Musk the richest person in the world with a peak net worth exceeding $300 billion. Tesla reached a $1 trillion valuation faster than giants like Apple and Amazon, cementing its position as not just the leader in electric vehicles, but one of the most valuable companies on the planet. Meanwhile, SpaceX continued its improbable success story. The development of reusable rockets, considered impossible by industry veterans, drastically reduced launch costs. The Falcon 9, repeatedly landing its first stage on drone ships in the ocean, still looks like science fiction, yet now it's routine. SpaceX has transformed from an industry joke to NASA's preferred partner, carrying astronauts to the International Space Station and developing Starship, the massive vehicle that could one day transport humans to Mars. Musk's ambition for sustainable space travel goes beyond Mars. He envisions using Starship for Earth-to-Earth travel, potentially flying from New York to Shanghai in just 39 minutes. Imagine boarding a rocket instead of a plane for your next international business trip. The barf bags would probably need to be industrial strength. But even revolutionizing transportation on Earth and in space wasn't enough. Concerned about the existential threat of artificial intelligence, Musk co-founded OpenAI in 2015 to ensure AI development remained beneficial to humanity. In a plot twist worthy of a sci-fi novel, he later left the board over disagreements about the company's direction, only to start xAI in 2023 as a competitor. Simultaneously, he founded Neuralink to develop brain-machine interfaces, essentially allowing humans to merge with AI. The stated goal is to help people with neurological conditions, but the long-term vision is far more ambitious, preventing humans from becoming obsolete in an AI-dominated future. Nothing says trust me like a billionaire wanting to put chips in your brain. Musk's methods have often been as controversial as his goals are ambitious. His $44 billion acquisition of Twitter in 2022, rebranded as X, exemplifies his chaotic approach. After attempting to back out of the deal, then being legally forced to complete it, he immediately fired top executives, laid off roughly half the staff, and implemented radical changes to the platform's policies and features. Advertisers fled, users complained, waned, but Musk pushed forward with his vision of a free speech platform and everything app. His management style across all his companies has been described as exacting and brutal, with 80 to 100-hour work weeks, sleeping on factory floors during production crises, and firing employees on the spot. If you don't come in on Saturday, don't bother coming in on Sunday is apparently a favorite Musk mantra. Yet these radical methods have produced equally radical innovations. Self-landing rockets that have slashed the cost of space access by over 90%, electric vehicles that outperform gas-powered supercars, solar roof tiles indistinguishable from traditional shingles, and early brain-machine interfaces that could transform treatment for neurological conditions. This brings us back to Mars, Musk's ultimate obsession. While critics call it a billionaire's escape fantasy, Musk frames Mars colonization as humanity's insurance policy against extinction. As we face climate change, potential AI risks, and other existential threats, Musk's vision raises profound ethical questions. Should one man have so much influence over humanity's future? Are his companies accelerating solutions or creating new problems? Is his rush to progress coming at the expense of careful consideration of consequences? And with his recent political moves, Musk's future is more uncertain than ever. Is he playing a calculated game or taking risks that could backfire? The future will tell. Whatever your answers to these questions, that awkward, bullied boy from South Africa with the oversized head has become one of the most consequential figures of our time, rewriting the rules of multiple industries through sheer force of will and a willingness to risk spectacular failure in pursuit of even more spectacular success. Whether Elon Musk is ultimately remembered as our generation's Thomas Edison, a real-life Tony Stark, or a cautionary tale of ambition untethered from responsibility remains to be seen. But if humans do one day step onto the red soil of Mars, the footprints won't just belong to the astronauts making that giant leap, but to the man whose impossible dreams made it possible. That's it for this video. In the meantime, check out this other cool video about the fascinating success story of another tech genius, Jensen Huang, and how he built NVIDIA into an empire.